What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this really quick, and when I say quick, y'all, I mean quick review of 90 Day Diaries. There's not much to say because there's not much going on. Season 5, Episode 2, Lay All Your Love on Me. So let's start off with Jenny and Sumit. So Jenny and Sumit, they're still living in India. They've started their own restaurant. I guess Sumit is the cook and maybe Jenny is the manager. She does the business end. He does the cooking end, and it looks like Sumit is really into cooking. He was trying out a new dish and he had Jenny taste test it, and he seems to be really passionate about cooking and all of that. So that's great. And they're working together. Now, the last time that I saw them in the regular season of 90 Day the Other Way, he wanted to start a business with his friends or his friend, and Jenny was not really cool with that because Jenny wanted him to spend all of his time with her because Jenny is retired, she has a lot of time on her hands, and she wants her man up on her 24/7. And Sumit was like, no, I gotta go to work, I gotta, do something on my own away from you. But they're working together, so they're still up under each other because they live together, obviously, and they're also working together in this business. I saw no sign of any of Sumit's friends, so I guess they're running this business completely on their own. Jenny is still chasing after her mother-in-law's approval. Now, the father-in-law, Sumit's father, we know already gave his approval of their marriage during the tell-all. He went ahead and said, you know what, they can do whatever the hell they want to do, and I support it. The mom was the only one holding it out. So in this episode, they're supposed to be meeting with Sumit's parents, and evidently the mom is going to be giving her approval of them being married. So they meet up with the parents for chai. And it's very awkward. It's extremely awkward. They're sitting there, the four of them, not really saying much of anything. And then Jenny starts talking to break the ice, talking about, how thankful she is that they took the time to meet up with her and Sumit and whatever. So after we get through the small talk, the mother doesn't say it right then and there as she's sitting across from Jenny that she's giving her support or whatever. I don't think she said it right then and there, but she said it in her confessional. So when the producers were asking her, when she was doing her confessional, her one-on-one time with the camera, the producers were asking her, so do you now support Jenny and Sumit's relationship? And the mother-in-law said, yes. And that's all she said. She didn't elaborate. She didn't say anything else. She wasn't like, I see Jenny as my daughter now or as my daughter-in-law. I'm happy that my son's happy. I wish them all the best. It was just, yes, if I can remember correctly. Now, I think the mother is just so worn down and tired of Jenny. I'm not saying that Jenny was like all up in her face, demanding her approval and her support, but this was probably coming up quite a bit. If not from Jenny directly, maybe from Sumit, maybe from other people, maybe from social media, I don't know, of, when are you going to be able to accept your son and the relationship that he's in with Jenny? And I think she just got really dogged down with it all, and she just got frustrated with it all. And so she's just like, yeah, whatever, I support them. They can do whatever the hell they want to do. Now, I don't know. So when she gave her support or her blessing, that's what I'm trying to say. When the mother-in-law finally gave her blessing for their marriage, Jenny was so happy. She was so happy. She was so excited. I remember, I think she also gave them a hug, gave her in-laws a hug. She was just really happy. And Sumit was just as happy as well. Now, I don't know what Jenny's expecting from this. If she's expecting her and the mother-in-law to go shopping together, to meet up for chai, to go out to eat, have brunch, do yoga. I don't know if she's expecting all of that from this mother-in-law. I don't really see it happening. I don't think like I said, I think the mother was just frustrated and tired. This has been going on for years. Of, Sumit and Jenny begging for her blessing, begging for her support. In one instance, they acted like they didn't care if the parents supported or not. They just wanted to live their own life. But then it's like constantly, when they're on television, they're constantly begging for the approval and the support of Sumit's mother. So, like I said, I don't know what Jenny's expecting. I don't know if she thinks that things are going to change between her and her mother-in-law and they're going to get closer and become BFFs, because I really do see this mother-in-law still keeping her distance, not really wanting to mess with Jenny and Sumit too much. She's just like, y'all wanted my blessings, y'all got it, now leave me the hell alone. Moving on. to let's talk about Brandon and Julie. So Brandon and Julie have their own place now. They're not living with Brandon's parents. Now, the initial plan was for Brandon and Julie to move, I think, to Florida, but his job didn't want him to leave. And so they offered him a supervisor position, obviously with more money. And so they decided to stay in whatever state they're in. So they just bought their own home, and now they're like renovating the home because it's kind of like it's somewhat of a fixer-upper, or I don't know if it's a fixer-upper, but there's some things that they want to change. Like they're pulling the carpet to lay down new floors, etc. Now, Julie isn't working yet, but she wants to work, but she's having a hard time finding a job. And so because she used to be a dancer back in the Ukraine, but she was like a go-go dancer in the Ukraine. But here in America, I think she has suggested to Brandon that she wants to go back to dancing, but I think she wants to be a stripper, because Brandon was like, hell no. If it wasn't a stripper type of dancing, I don't know why he would have said no. But I think she was, and then they showed a scene, I think, of somebody, sliding down a pole. So I'm assuming she was implying that she wants to be a stripper, and she was talking about how much money she can make doing that. And Brandon is very doubtful that she can make as much money as she thinks she can make as a stripper. But whatever the situation is, he's like, no, you're not going to be a stripper. No wife of mine is going to be a stripper. And I think Julie says something like, well, my ex-boyfriend would have approved of it. So then after that, we see, which by the way, I don't think she really wanted to be a stripper. I think this was just for content. I seriously do not think that Julie wants to work in some strip club. Whether it's a hole in the wall or high end, I don't think Julie really wants to do that. I think it was just for content. Anyways, so the next scene that we have, it's still Christmas time, and his parents come over to open Christmas presents. So they're all sitting around the tree, opening up presents, and then Brandon presents his mother with a key to their home, to him and Julie's home. Now, during their regular season, we know that Brandon's mom was uber involved with Brandon and his life and his marriage to Julie, and Julie just wanted room to breathe. She just wanted some boundaries set between them and Brandon's parents. But of course, Brandon's mother does not recognize any boundaries. This is her baby boy. This is her only child. And so she's very, very super duper involved, overprotective, can't leave him alone. And so Julie kind of felt like there was always this fight between her and her mother-in-law for Brandon. So they have their own home now, and I'm pretty sure Julie is really happy about that. But then Brandon presents his mother with the key to their home. And of course, the mom was happy about it. Julie obviously wasn't. And, the father, he's just there for the ride. So when he gave her the key, he told her there was all kinds of stipulations. You just can't pop up. And she was like, what do you mean I just can't pop up? Number one, popping up on anybody is always to me, that's a big no-no. You don't know what people got going on. How are you just going to pop up to somebody's house? Really, it's really rude to me. You always have to make an announcement. And if you don't make an announcement, I'm not opening the door. I don't care who you are. I am not opening the door if you did not tell me that you were on your way, or you did not ask to see if I was available. So he tells her, I'll give you the key, but there's no pop-ups, and you have to give us, advanced warning when you want to come over. So he puts all these stipulations on when she can and cannot come over. So the mom is like, so what the hell is the key for? Why are you giving me a key if I just can't pop up? Otherwise, if you know that I'm coming, you'll just open the door for me. Why do I need my own key? So the mom got upset. She gets up, she walks away. Julie is mad at Brandon because he would even offer his mother a key to their home. And I don't know if Julie knew about this or not, but she gets up and she walks away. The father goes and follows his wife. And so Brandon's just left there by himself. And he says, I should have just given her the key in private if it was going to cause all of this. So obviously Brandon does not really understand that Julie does not want his parents this involved in their lives, because instead of saying, you know what, it wasn't such a good idea to give my mom a key to my home to let her come and go whenever, instead he says, I should have given her the key in private. Okay. So the mom comes back and sits down next to him. They hug it out. They apologize to each other, whatever the hell they do. So they're still very much in a very clingy, can't let each other go type of relationship, him and his mom. Okay, moving on from there. Let's talk about Guillermo and Cara. Not much is going on with Guillermo and Cara other than them having a baby. So they're gearing up to the birth of their child, and they're talking about the midwife that they chose and the birthing center that they chose. And of course, the conversation has to turn sexual when Cara talks about how nipple stimulation will help her with the labor process, and getting down and dirty with her husband was going to help with the labor process. So we have to hear all of those gruesome details. We know what it is, girl. I just don't know why you got to talk about it all the time. Okay, so the initial plan, from what she was telling us, is that she was going to be in this birthing like a birthing tub, and she was going to be completely naked, because she has to let us know she's going to be completely naked in the birthing tub as she's giving birth, and Guillermo was going to be in the water with her. But that's not exactly how it happened. So when she finally does go into labor, which is exactly on her due date, and Guillermo mentions to us that the reason why she was able to deliver exactly on her due date was because they were having a whole lot of sex that got that got her body ready to push this baby out. So she ends up just having the baby on a bed on her back. It wasn't even in the tub. But nonetheless, she gives birth to a beautiful baby boy. They name him Nicholas, and life is great. Moving on to Tom and Mariah. So I remember Tom from when he was on 90 Day Fiance. I think it was the other way or before the 90 days. I don't know. It was so long ago when him and Darcy were together after Darcy broke up with that other weird guy. So then she broke up with him, whatever his name was. I can't remember. And then she hooked up with Darcy. Then she hooked up with Tom. But what were they on? I don't know, whatever franchise it was. That's where I remember Tom from. And I always thought that Tom and Darcy were a very weird match, because Tom seems very uptight, conservative, closed off kind of guy, where Darcy is more laid back, crazy, wild, loud, so I never really understood what the attraction was between these two people. But he tells us in 90 Day Diaries that he broke up with Darcy, and then I don't know if his relationship with Mariah played out on one of these 90 Day franchises. I have no idea, because I don't know who or what a Mariah is, but he's dating this woman named Mariah, who reminds me so much of Darcy, because Tom obviously has a type, and his type is pulled, stretched, plumped, and plucked, because she looks just as made up, just as artificial and manufactured as Darcy, with the oversized lips, the overfilled cheekbones, the skin that's been stretched to infinity. And I'm like, okay, Tom, you really do have a type. I don't know if you pick these type of women because you think they have an insecurity and you can play on their insecurities, or you pick these kind of women because you really like that look. Like, I'm not understanding what the hell's going on. But yeah, so he's with this woman named Mariah, who's got 2 teenage sons. At some point he was going to propose to her in the past, but it didn't work out. I guess this played out on TV. I don't know. So he proposed to her again. I think she said yes, because Tom has traveled to Turkey to get his veneers, to get his teeth fixed, because they're going to be getting married, him and Mariah. So he's in Turkey. He gets a new set of teeth. Wonderful. Then after that, we see him with his mom. His mom has a lot of health problems, and so she may not be able to attend the wedding. I think the wedding is supposed to take place in America, and Tom does intend to finally move at some point to America to be with Mariah, I guess. So he's having a conversation with his mom, and the mom is basically like giving her blessings and saying, you know what, you do what you got to do for your life. I love you. I love Mariah. I hope everything works out between. But I think maybe the mom, because she was kind of talking as if she doesn't have much longer to live. So she wanted Tom to be reassured that she's like 100% behind him in his relationship with Mariah, and that she loves him. And, it was a very touching, very deep and sentimental moment. And, Tom was kind of getting emotional, just a bit, just a crack, because, he's very like stiff upper lip English. And, yeah, so that was a really beautiful moment. So I don't think she's going to be able to attend the wedding, but she definitely gave her love and her blessings for his union with Mariah. Now, Tom himself, let me tell y'all, Tom to me is a little scary, because he just seems like, a shyster, like a con man, like what we see is not who he really is. I've always felt this way about Tom. He seems like somebody who is an opportunist. Yeah, there you go. To me, he really comes off as an opportunist. And I don't believe in the genuineness of any of his relationships. I think he's just an opportunist. I don't know if he just wants to be on TV or if he's trying to con these women out of money. I don't know what's going on. But something about Tom to me has always been just a little bit untrustworthy. Like, I would not trust Tom with anything. I feel like he's with these women, you know, just for clout, fame, money, you know, you name it, any one of those, all of the above. I just don't trust Tom at all. Tom reminds me, he kind of seems like someone who'd be living during the Victorian times, and his mode of supporting himself would be conning women. That's how he comes across to me. I don't know. I could be wrong. Hopefully, by watching this show and seeing him again, my opinion of him will change. I have no idea. But thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video. And if you like this content, please subscribe to my channel. And I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.